Everyone wants him back. Fans write wishes, petitions, theories. They imagine 1,000 ways to undo the end. I get it. I wanted him back too. But before we beg for resurrection, I want to ask you one hard question. What does bringing Jinu back actually cost? Jinu wasn't made for comfort. He was made of hard choices and survival instincts. People called him a monster. Sometimes because they were afraid, sometimes because they only saw the surface of his actions. But there was a difference between someone who enjoys doing harm and someone who does harm to survive. Jinu hesitated. He calculated. He carried things inside that he never let anyone truly know. That hesitation, that human crack in the armor, is what made him compelling, not expendable. His death was not a punishment. It was a resolution. For the first time, he did something that did not save him. He did it for someone else. Not for himself, not for status, not for an escape. That choice rewrote everything about him. It was heretical to the idea that he was just a self-preserving force. He proved he could act differently. When a character sacrifices themselves like that, that sacrifice becomes meaning. It is the final punctuation to a story that has been trying to teach us something about guilt, about dignity, about what people become when they stop surviving and start choosing. Resurrection is cheap in storytelling when it's used as a trick. If Jinu returns to life the way many fans dream, as a but-he-survived plot device, then we erase the only moment when he actually proved he was something else. We rob that act of its consequence. Think about it. A sacrifice only works if it is final. If death becomes merely a temporary hurdle, then sacrifices get downgraded to bad writing mechanics. Shock value with no moral weight. It flattens the growth. It makes the entire emotional payoff feel like a bait and switch. I'm not blind to why fans want him back. We root for characters like Jinu because we want redemption, forgiveness, love. We want to see a damaged soul get a chance at a simple life. We imagine them with Rumi, with peace, maybe even with a family. That's human. I feel it too. But love for a character sometimes means loving the truth of their story, not the fantasy version we desire. We can write the fairy tale endings in our fan fiction. Canon has responsibilities, to its themes, to its structure, to the emotion it earned. That said, if the producers absolutely have to bring Jinu back, there are ways to do it without turning his death into a meaningless stunt. Not all returns are equal. Here are responsible approaches that could work. He returns as a memory or vision, a guide-like presence that appears to Rumi during her darkest battles. It doesn't undo his death. It honors it. He's still gone, but his influence remains as a moral and psychological compass. He returns as a ghost or echo that must earn to stay. Being brought back is a curse, not a gift. He's forced to confront the consequences he left behind, to atone in ways that extend his arc rather than erase it. This keeps the stakes high and preserves the original meaning. He lives inside Rumi's sword, not as a living, breathing resurrection, but as a presence fused to a relic. He helps in battles, whispers guidance, sacrifices agency in order to protect. It's poetic and bittersweet. He's present without being returned to mundane living. Or maybe return through perspective shift, an ambiguous reality. The narrative can frame a return as uncertain. Maybe it's a parallel reality. Maybe it's a dream sequence. Maybe it's an unreliable narrator. Done well, this can expand the myth without nullifying the first story's emotional outcome. Anything that treats return as a consequence, that adds rather than subtracts, can be meaningful. But the cheap "he survived" trick? That would destroy what made the first story resonate. Remember Rumi, the one person who saw him. She's not a plot device. Her growth depends upon his mortality as much as his choices depended on her empathy. If Jinu came back as a simple rescue, Rumi's maturation would shrink into a fairy tale. Her acceptance of loss, her compassion that did not always save. is central to her strength. Keep that intact. And yes, I feel the same ache as all of you. I imagine them together. But the truth is, sometimes the depth of a relationship is proven by what we don't get. So, yes, as hard as it is to say, Jinu should stay dead. Not because we don't love him. Precisely because we do. Because allowing his story to end at the place it earned helps preserve the humanity that he finally showed. If you still want him back, tell me how. Leave your best non-canon ways below. And remember, loving a character sometimes means letting their ending be the ending. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. It really helps more fans find it. Comment your thoughts below. Do you think Jinu should stay dead or return? And don't forget to subscribe for more K-pop Demon Hunter stories and analysis like this one.